Hello, my name is Kaylin Delaney and I'm sick right now. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you my to be crocheted for April. This is just stuff I've been working on for a while. In my last video, I filmed directly in front of the sun and then I couldn't see anything and it really bothered me. So I tried not to do that and I failed. I also don't have a microphone this time because I didn't know how I'd be able to hold that and also hold up my crochet projects, so audio is probably not going to be very good. Sorry. Before we start, I just want to show you my actually finished project. This is the only thing I've ever finished so far. It is a surprise song blanket. I got the idea from Kyra Crochets on TikTok. Well, actually, I got the idea from my friend who got the idea from Kyra. She did the first US leg, which I am working on as well. I'll show you that later. But she did one for the international leg, so that is what this one is. Show you some more. This is just half double all the way, and then I did like a really small single crochet border. I was gonna do a bigger border, but I didn't want to. It's really dusty in here. And then I did a row of single crochet as a divider between continents. So this is for the whole US leg. So this goes from Mexico City night 1 to London night 8. This is the Mexico City part. It was much looser here, I think. I don't know why it got so tight near the end. This is the London section. It's got a lot of hair on it because I keep it on my floor, and this is my cat's favorite blanket. He sleeps on it all the time, so lots of cat hair on it. He sometimes pulls the stitches. This blanket is 10 feet long. I don't know how that happened. She started bringing in mashups in, I think, Sydney or Melbourne. One of those. One of the Australia cities. And I know Kyra did it where she would like do different colors all in one row, so it would all stay one row. I didn't want to do that, so instead, for example, it was Getaway Car, August, and The Other Side of the Door. I just did a row for every song in a mashup. That was a mistake because then she started to do 2 mashups a night, so that was at least 4 songs every night, and then it became 10 feet long. I didn't even know what happened. I just laid it out one day and I was like, oh, uh-oh. But it's pretty nice. It's really warm and, you know, covers great distances. But that's not a to be crocheted because I already did that. I just wanted to show that because I worked really hard on it. So now for what I am actually working on. It's a lot of surprise song blankets. I did one for every leg of tour. I did the international one, which is finished. I'm working on the second US leg one, which I'll show in a second. And then this one is the first US leg. I don't know if you can see it. This is the pattern that Kyra used for her first US leg blanket. I know I talk a lot about Kyra. She's like my crochet idol. My camera fell down again. She's like what got me into crochet. This pattern is by Daisy Cottage Designs. It's the Coastal Comfort one. So it starts off a row with a double crochet and then half double, and then it's like this cluster stitch, which I would try to explain it, but I'm not good at that. I think it's like a double crochet cluster stitch though. You'll see, I use this stitch a lot because I've done it so much that I'm pretty good at it now, and it's like the only thing I can't do, and it looks really nice. This one I go through both loops because I think it looks flatter and cleaner. I say this like I know what I'm talking about. I'm very new to crochet. I've only been crocheting for about like a year and a half. I do not know what I'm talking about in the slightest. I'm just showing what I've been doing. Currently, I'm on I just finished Gold Rush, Philadelphia, night 1. So the next row is Come Back, Be Here, which is red. I'm gonna show it off again one more time. You can see it. Oh, you can see it. Cool. I crocheted like 4 rows yesterday, like 5. I kind of went crazy yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna stop. I have to film. And then I was like, I can't stop. For all these blankets, except for the international one, I use a 6mm J hook. I don't have one of the grippy ones because I like having more space on it, which is probably gonna wreck my wrist, but that's okay. This is the hook I used for the international blanket. This is just an H, a 5mm. The yarn is neither. The yarn is the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn, and that says 5.5, so I didn't get it right either time. And I'm not going to because I like this stitch. So yeah, it's been going pretty well. I weaved in some of the ends. I actually weaved in all the ends and then I crocheted more. So that's this blanket. I'm just gonna generally keep working on it. It would be nice to finish it sooner rather than later, but I don't have like a set time I want to finish it by. I just want to get it done, but this one's gonna take longer because I'm still at like the very beginning of the tour, kind of. Next we have my other surprise song blanket, which for some reason also ended on Evermore row. This is my second US leg blanket. It's North America really, because this has Canada in it too. That should have gone on the international blanket, but I didn't want to wait that long to finish it. I just wanted to get that one done. This won't fit, it's too long. It's the same pattern as the last one, except I do 2 rows per song. Same thing where I do every song in a mashup as a separate row, but I do 2 rows per song because that way it's like a good blanket length, because there were only 18 shows on this leg, so that would be about 72 rows, which isn't as long as I wanted it to be. So I double it, and then it's a pretty good blanket length. It's about like here right now if I hold it up. I'm only on Toronto night 4, so I'm pretty, like, in my mind when I'm crocheting, I'm like, I'm almost there, just 6 more shows, but then that's also like 48 more rows, and this stitch kind of takes forever. So I'm really not that close, but in my mind I think I am, which helps me get it done. So again, I just want to get further on this. I don't really have a set goal of when I want to finish it. I just want to get it done eventually. I'm on Long Story Short right now. That's the one I just finished. So the next one is Mr. Perfectly Fine. So this is it. I am not good at holding up stuff. I weaved these ends in as well, and it took forever. I don't mind weaving in ends. I use this. It's not like a specific one. It's just a blunt end needle, because my friend said that's the one that you should use, and then she was like, actually I was wrong, that's not the one you should. I already had them. They work fine. You can use an actual sewing needle if you want, but I already got these, so it's too late. Yeah, they work fine. You just wrap it around, pull through, weave ends. I don't mind it. I know a lot of people like really hate doing it. I don't think it's that bad because it feels like sewing, and I really want to sew. I'm just not good at it. I'll learn eventually. I'm just not right now. It feels like sewing, so it's like, oh, it's like I'm sewing, so fun, until you've been weaving in ends the whole day and you're not even close to being done, and then you stay up till 2 a.m. weaving in ends because your hand hurts and you just want to get it done so you can get back to doing what you enjoy, which is actually crocheting. That happened 2 nights ago, but this one's coming along really well. I'm really happy with it, and I think I can make some good progress. Got a whole month, and you know, sometimes I kind of just go in and out. Like sometimes I really want to crochet and I crochet like 5 rows in a day, and then sometimes I just don't even do it at all. I'm just too tired. I also switched the colors midway through, so the colors for this and the international blanket are mostly the same. If you want to know what yarns I use, you can just ask me. I'll tell you like what specific colors I use. This is like the perfect example because these are all the colors I changed. Then this is a pretty good example of a section with all the colors I changed as well. I didn't like the gray yarn I was using because it was like a little thinner than the rest of them, and I just like didn't like the color, the feeling, any of it. It was this gray, now it's this gray. I don't know if you can really tell a difference. I don't know if you could tell a difference like on camera, but it's different. It feels different. It's like a little darker. It's the right like thickness. So I like this one way more. But that was really a feeling. It wasn't really more of the color. These two, the color was bothering me. I don't want to stray away from color. I like color, you know. As you could tell, I like things to be very vibrant and just like fun, because why not? But for red, which for some reason she did so much of it this part of the tour, and green, I did not like them. They were like too dark. Like I want them to be vibrant, but I just didn't like this shade. Red was way too like loud and just in your face, and I just didn't think it looked that good. And it's kind of same with the green. Also, they just didn't really go with anything. Like if you put them with anything else, as you could see, it kind of just doesn't look good. I changed it to a paler, more sage green and a more cranberry darker red, which I by far prefer. And it looks much nicer with the rest of the colors too, so that's great. I don't know if I said this. I do a row of half double crochet as a divider in between cities. This one I also do a row between cities, but that's fewer in proportion because there's only like 5 cities. Lastly, for projects I can hold in my hand and show you is this one. It is connected to the yarn right now, so please excuse the dangling little yarn thread. It's this like cute little summer blanket. Okay, it's a lot shorter. I remember this being longer. What the heck? I thought it was longer. This is the same stitch as the other two. But this is the pattern she had, because like I said, it was the Coastal Comfort. And she had like a color pattern. So that's this. It's just like this is not themed. This is just like a summer, get out of here. This is just like a summer throw blanket, and I do this one in the front loop because that's how I used to crochet all the time. That's what I did for the international blanket, but I like the way this looks more in between both, but I've come too far to go back and rip it all up now, so I'm just gonna have to live with it. And you know what, I guess it's a little helpful because it's for summer. It's hot where I live during summer, so it'll help like disperse the heat, I guess. This is very pretty though. I actually started this February or March of last year, and then I went on vacation, so I couldn't work on it. So I worked on it more when I got back, but in that couple months I didn't get super far. This is really good for a couple months, but I crochet much faster now. I was really only like 6 months into crocheting, maybe even less. And then when it started getting colder and it was like fall and winter and not summer anymore, I shoved her away to work on when it got warmer again. And it is getting warmer again, so I want to make like significant progress on this. I really only work on it when the weather is warm because I just like working on these ones more. And it's hard for me to like switch back to being like, okay, crochet in the front loop, not both, because I've gotten used to that now. But I really do want to make a significant dent on this. I'm about 3/4 of the way done, I think. This is really how I count these dark teal rows because there's only 4 of these. I'm on the 3rd one. I finished it. So that kind of like puts it into sections for me at least. I think I can finish it by when I want to. I want to finish it by the end of May. I have it like for summer, and you know, because that's what it's meant to be for. Like I don't want to work on it during summer. I want to have it done for summer. If it goes into then, that's fine. But I want to get it done. I want to get it done because this is something I don't really like working on it anymore. I just want to have it and not make it anymore. I want to get this done soon because I do have a deadline coming up that's in my mind. Like, nothing's stopping me from working on it past that, but in my mind it'd be so nice if I reached it by then. And now for things I don't have yet. First of all, I want to make little like South Park amigurumi. I think that's how you say it. I tried making one. I tried making the head. Couldn't get past the first step of the magic ring, which is really a good sign. Those are just for fun. Those are just because I want to have them and I think those are cute. I just can't figure them out though. Ideally, I was like, oh, I want to have it so you can remove the hat and you can see like the hair underneath. That's not gonna happen. That's way too hard. As you can tell, I only make blankets because those are easier. So if I could figure out like how to do those, I would do them, but I can't right now. That's way too hard. I also want to make like a bag. Like, I saw on TikTok these like hibiscus bags, which are cute. I just want to make like a nice like summer bag I can, I don't know, like take to the beach or something. Something fun like that I want to make. But that's also hard. Not as hard as like a round thing, but that's still maybe a bit above my skill level. I also don't have any yarn for that. I have yarn for the South Park plushies, at least for Stan. That was the one I was going to do first. I don't have any yarn for a bag yet because I just kind of got that idea recently. But that would be cute and I would like to do that. It doesn't have to be this month, but like I just want to do it in general. Once I get these out of the way, like once I get like the surprise song blankets out of the way and this, then I'll have way more time to work on other stuff. I just have a lot of projects started and one finished. So not looking great for me. This is like all I do though. Like, this is my one hobby. So, I think I have time. I have this. This was my first. You know how everyone says, like, what's your first crochet project? Don't let it be a single crochet blanket. Guess what this idiot did? A single crochet blanket. Wow, wait. I'm actually like the same spot. Yeah, I'm at like the same spot as this one. I'm on Teardrops on My Guitar, and I just did that one. This one's way prettier. I don't like anything about this really. I mean, it's kind of nice. It's like, oh, the memories, you know. But I don't know what to do with this. I can't weave in the ends because I made them too short. Something happened here where it was like really long, and then I fucked it up. And then also here. Also here, I just like didn't know what to do. That was like, this is my first real project, but I just don't like this. Listen when people say don't let your first project be a single crochet blanket. Listen to them, because I have no idea what to do with this. I bought 11 colors of yarn. Why did I make a surprise song blanket? That was so stupid. Now I have 11 colors of yarn and I don't even like this yarn. I don't like the yarn. I don't like the stitch. I don't like anything about this blanket. I'm throwing it around and dust is flying everywhere because it just sits here on my floor covered in dog hair. Like, this is a mess. It doesn't look too bad. I just don't like it and I'm never gonna use it. And I'm definitely never gonna finish it because if this is taking me forever, holy, this is gonna take me until my deathbed. Like, I can't. I just don't know what to do with all like the yarn, you know? I bought 11 skeins of yarn and I don't even like it, and it's so much yarn and I don't know what to do with it. I did 2 rows for everyone because I was like, it's not going to be long enough. I will frog this immediately once I figure out what to do with the yarn. It just takes up space and I don't use it. I'm never gonna finish this. I've accepted it at this point. I was like, maybe I'll finish it eventually. I don't like it. I don't want to finish it. I don't like using single crochet. So I would like to get rid of that. If you have any ideas of like what I can do with the yarn, I would love them. Thank you. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm crocheting this month, unless I get another bright idea. I'm like rushing to film this because it's the last day of March and I need to edit this fast. That's another one of my fun little hobbies. It's something I'm pretty passionate about. I don't think I'm amazing. I think I'm pretty good though. I mean, I can throw down a blanket. It's gonna take me a long time and I might not ever finish it, but I can get one started. If you have any suggestions, any advice, you want to talk about your crochet, I'd love to hear it. Any YouTube advice? This is my 3rd video ever, and I don't know how long I'm going to be counting. Any advice, any just conversation is appreciated. If you somehow made it this far, wowza, thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye.